Have you ever woken up in the morning, stretched out your arms, and thought to yourself, I used to feel stronger than this? That gentle stiffness or the occasional feeling that certain activities are more tiring than they used to be is something many people over 75 experience. And if you've been told it's just a normal part of aging, you might wonder if there's anything you can do to slow it down. The good news is you can absolutely support your body's natural resilience by focusing on a key element in your diet: protein. The even better news is that it doesn't have to break the bank to do so. As a holistic wellness coach who has worked with older adults for many years, I've seen countless individuals rediscover their vitality simply by making a few strategic changes in how they eat. While it's true that you can't stop time, the way you nourish your body can help you stay active, maintain strength, and continue enjoying the activities you love, like gardening, long walks with friends, or dancing at family gatherings, well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Muscle mass naturally declines as we get older, but this doesn't mean we're powerless. Paying attention to protein intake can slow muscle loss, help us recover better from everyday exertions, and support essential functions like balance and mobility. After all, it's not just about looking strong. It's about preserving your independence, confidence, and overall quality of life. Yet many older adults worry about the cost of protein-rich foods, especially when living on a fixed income. Fortunately, there are affordable ways to give your body the protein it needs without sacrificing taste, enjoyment, or variety in your meals. By the end of today's discussion, you'll walk away with 4 practical, budget-friendly ideas that can significantly impact how you feel day to day. We're going to cover exactly why each protein option is beneficial for muscle maintenance and overall wellness. You'll discover simple tricks for incorporating them into everyday meals, regardless of whether you're an accomplished home cook or someone who prefers quick, no-fuss options. Along the way, I'll also share how my clients, people just like you, have surprised their doctors and themselves by steadily regaining strength through small, consistent changes to their eating habits. Most importantly, every tip I share respects the fact that you know your own body best. Always keep in mind that individual health conditions vary, and consulting your healthcare provider about dietary changes is a wise step if you have specific concerns. If you've ever felt the frustration of not being able to open a jar as easily as before, or if you've hesitated to join a social outing because you weren't sure if you'd keep up with everyone else, consider what might happen if you put these protein-boosting ideas into practice. Imagine moving through your day with a little more ease, having the energy to play with grandchildren, or even just walk up a flight of stairs comfortably. That sense of renewed vitality is what I want for you. So let's explore 4 simple, low-cost foods that could make a huge difference in how strong and capable you feel. And I'd love to hear which ones resonate with you, so feel free to share your thoughts or experiences with these foods once you've had the chance to try them. Now, there's a misconception out there that says protein can be complicated, expensive, and maybe even tough on your digestion. Let's dig a little deeper and see if that's truly the case. First, let's talk about something that might surprise you: eggs. It's common for many seniors to feel wary of eggs because of outdated advice about cholesterol. Yet many nutrition experts now consider eggs one of the most accessible and complete protein sources available, often at a relatively low cost. Years ago, doctors commonly warned against eating too many eggs, claiming it could raise cholesterol levels. This message stuck, so a lot of people over 75 still avoid them. However, research has shifted, showing that moderate egg consumption doesn't have the negative impact on heart health that people once feared. In fact, eggs are packed with high-quality protein, vitamins, and minerals, all of which are crucial for muscle health, brain function, and overall vitality. Consider the story of Harold, a 78-year-old who was told for decades to watch his cholesterol. He only ate egg whites occasionally, thinking the yolks were bad for him. When his granddaughter, studying nutrition in college, gently encouraged him to add whole eggs back into his diet, he was skeptical. But with his doctor's approval, Harold started scrambling 1 full egg into his morning oatmeal a few times a week. The protein and healthy fats gave him longer-lasting energy and helped curb his mid-morning hunger. Over a couple of months, he noticed small improvements. It became easier to walk around his neighborhood, and his arms felt stronger when he lifted his grocery bags. He was surprised that something as simple as adding an egg to his routine could make such a tangible difference. Eggs are also extremely versatile. You can hard-boil a batch at the start of the week to have easy protein on hand. If dexterity is an issue, you can purchase pre-boiled eggs at many grocery stores, though that might be a bit more expensive. If you enjoy cooking, whip up an omelet loaded with leftover vegetables. Or if you prefer quick fixes, crack a couple of eggs into a small skillet, stir them around a bit, add a sprinkle of cheese, and you'll have a protein-packed meal ready in minutes. To address any lingering concerns about cholesterol, talk with your healthcare provider about your personal limits. Everyone's situation is unique, and dietary changes may need slight adjustments based on factors like current medications or existing conditions. But for many seniors, adding 1 or 2 eggs into the daily or weekly meal plan can be beneficial. One overlooked benefit is that eggs aren't just about muscle support. They also contain important nutrients that play a role in brain health and eye health, like choline and lutein. Many people over 75 worry about losing mental sharpness or dealing with vision changes. While eggs aren't a magical cure-all, every little bit helps when it comes to preserving cognitive function and possibly supporting eye strength. Emotionally, feeling more energetic can increase motivation to stay active, which in turn creates a positive cycle. As you move more, you keep those muscles working, and the protein you consume becomes fuel for a stronger, healthier body. Transitioning from eggs, it's time to address another misconception, that plant-based proteins aren't as effective in supporting muscle strength. In reality, beans and lentils are incredibly nutrient-dense, affordable, and can hold their own as a primary protein source, especially if you eat a variety of them to ensure you're getting a full amino acid profile. Some seniors worry that beans might cause digestive upset or gas, but there are ways to minimize this. Rinsing canned beans thoroughly, soaking dry beans overnight, and cooking them with spices like ginger or cumin can all help reduce digestive discomfort. I recall working with a 76-year-old woman named Beatrice who lived on a tight budget and believed that without meat, she couldn't possibly get enough protein to stay strong. She also assumed beans would be too hard on her stomach, so she only ate them once in a blue moon. When her grocery bills started to climb, she decided to give beans another shot. We experimented with lentil soup, adding plenty of vegetables, a pinch of turmeric, and a dash of black pepper to help with absorption of nutrients. Within a few weeks, Beatrice noticed that not only did she feel satiated after her meals, but she also saved money. Over time, she was able to integrate beans or lentils into her meals almost daily, enjoying them in chili, salads, or paired with rice. Her energy levels improved, and she was delighted to find that her occasional morning walks became easier. She had more pep in her step. Beans and lentils are also rich in fiber, which supports healthy digestion and can help regulate blood sugar. Since many seniors deal with issues like constipation or elevated blood sugar, incorporating beans regularly could be a game changer. Fiber can ease digestive discomfort and reduce spikes in energy that often lead to crashes later in the day. Adding them to your meal plan might be as simple as stirring half a cup of black beans into your scrambled eggs, mixing chickpeas into a salad, or blending lentils into a hearty soup. If you're concerned about cooking from scratch, consider low-sodium canned beans. They're budget-friendly and ready to eat once you rinse them. Just remember to keep an eye on sodium levels if you have high blood pressure or other cardiovascular concerns. For your peace of mind, check in with your doctor or nutritionist about how often you can consume beans in relation to any medication you might be on, as certain prescriptions can interact with dietary changes. On the emotional front, discovering that you can get ample protein from plant-based sources can give you a sense of empowerment. You realize that your choices are not limited, and from a practical standpoint, beans and lentils store well and can be purchased in bulk, making them a convenient staple that fits into almost any meal plan. Many seniors find they enjoy the variety: pinto beans, kidney beans, black beans, lentils, chickpeas, and more. Experimenting with different seasonings and recipes can make each meal a small adventure in flavor. Before we move on to the next protein idea, I'd love to know which of these first two options, eggs or beans and lentils, sounds like a better fit for you. Have you already tried incorporating them in new ways? Feel free to share your experience if you have one. If not, which one are you most curious to test out in your next meal? Now let's tackle another misconception, that canned foods aren't nutritious. Many older adults assume that anything in a can has lost its value. But for proteins like tuna, salmon, sardines, or even canned chicken, that's simply not the case. These items can be fantastic sources of protein and healthy fats, especially if you choose varieties packed in water or low-sodium broth. And from a cost perspective, canned fish and lean meats are often much cheaper than their fresh counterparts, while still offering a robust nutritional punch. Take Jean, for example, a 79-year-old widower who never learned to cook much beyond microwaving leftovers. Fresh fish seemed too complicated, storing it, cooking it properly, and worrying about whether he was getting the right cuts. He started stocking up on canned tuna because it was easy to keep on the shelf, relatively cheap when purchased on sale, and simple to use in sandwiches or tossed with pasta. Over time, he became more adventurous and tried canned salmon mixed with yogurt and herbs to make a healthy spread. Not only did Gene find that he felt stronger, but he also noticed that adding canned fish to his meals kept him fuller for longer. This boosted his confidence in trying other simple cooking methods, and he eventually branched out to more diverse meal options. Canned fish is particularly beneficial if you aim to support not just muscle health, but also heart and brain health. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines contain omega-3 fatty acids, which have been linked to positive effects on cardiovascular function and cognitive well-being. As we age, supporting heart health becomes more critical, and the healthy fats from certain canned fish can be part of that strategy. Just remember to keep an eye on the sodium content, as some brands can be high in salt. Opting for lower sodium varieties and draining the liquid can help manage your salt intake. One of the best things about canned proteins is their convenience. If you have arthritis in your hands or difficulty standing at the stove, you don't have to do much cooking. You can open a can of tuna, drain it, mix it with some chopped vegetables and a bit of mayonnaise or yogurt, and you have a protein-rich salad or sandwich filling in minutes. For those with mobility challenges, reducing the time spent in the kitchen can be a huge plus. Pair this quick meal with some whole grain crackers or bread, and you've got a balanced option. Emotionally, it's liberating to know you can easily prepare something nutritious without feeling overwhelmed by complicated cooking steps. Now, there is a caveat. Some seniors might be on medications that interact with higher levels of mercury found in certain types of fish. Albacore tuna, for example, tends to contain more mercury than light tuna. While occasional consumption is generally considered fine, it's wise to consult your healthcare provider if you're unsure. Also, if you have concerns about bone density, you might find canned salmon with bones to be a surprise ally, as the tiny edible bones are a source of calcium. Being able to get protein, healthy fats, and calcium in one affordable can is a major win for many older adults. Finally, let's discuss dairy, focusing on items like cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, and even low-cost plain yogurt. Many seniors assume that dairy is only for younger people, or that it causes digestive issues. While it's true that lactose intolerance can become more common as we age, there are often lactose-free or reduced lactose versions of cottage cheese and yogurt that can be just as beneficial. Dairy can be a powerhouse for protein, calcium, and vitamin D, all of which are essential for maintaining muscle mass, bone strength, and overall well-being. I once worked with Leonard, a 75-year-old who experienced multiple leg cramps during the night. He rarely ate dairy products because he thought they made him feel bloated. After a quick check with his doctor, Leonard decided to try lactose-free cottage cheese. He started small, just a few spoonfuls with fruit in the morning. Over several weeks, he noticed his leg cramps diminished, and he felt less fatigued. The boost in calcium and protein, along with proper hydration, seemed to help his muscles recover better throughout the day. He also felt more grounded emotionally, knowing there was a simple, tasty option he could rely on to help him stay strong. The beauty of cottage cheese or Greek yogurt is that you can easily blend them into savory or sweet dishes. Top cottage cheese with berries and a sprinkle of flax seeds for breakfast, or stir it into mashed potatoes to increase the protein content of a traditional comfort food. You could also mix plain yogurt with herbs, garlic, and cucumber to make a quick dip for vegetables. If you're watching your sugar intake, be mindful of flavored yogurts. Many can contain a lot of added sugar. Look for plain or low sugar options, and then add sweetness naturally with fresh fruit or a drizzle of honey if your health guidelines allow it. Some people worry that dairy products might aggravate conditions such as arthritis or inflammation. The evidence on this is mixed, and it often depends on the individual. If you suspect dairy might be an issue, start slowly or choose lactose-free or reduced lactose varieties. You can also experiment with different forms of cultured dairy like kefir or probiotic-rich yogurts, which can sometimes be easier on digestion. And of course, if you're taking medications that affect calcium absorption or bone health, double-check with your healthcare provider about how much dairy is right for you. As you can see, budget-friendly protein sources aren't limited to bland or expensive cuts of meat. By considering eggs, beans, and lentils, canned fish, and certain dairy products, you can create a varied, tasty, and nutritionally robust meal plan that supports your muscles and overall health in your golden years. Which of these options stands out to you as something you might try in the coming week? Sometimes just making one small change, like adding a half cup of cottage cheese to your breakfast or a can of tuna to your lunch, can lead to noticeable improvements in how you feel day to day. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the sheer volume of health advice out there, so let's simplify. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. In fact, gradual changes are more sustainable and give your body and mind time to adjust. Maybe start by picking one protein source that feels easiest for you to incorporate. See how it goes for a week or two, and then add another. Build momentum step by step. If you face any challenges along the way, like cooking difficulties, digestive issues, or medication interactions, talk with a healthcare professional who understands your unique situation. Remember, you're in control of your journey, and even small actions can have a positive ripple effect on your strength and independence. To recap, you now know that eggs aren't the cholesterol villains they were once made out to be. Beans and lentils are flexible, affordable, and kinder to digestion than you might think. Canned fish can be a powerhouse of protein and healthy fats, and dairy products like cottage cheese and Greek yogurt can bolster muscle and bone health without costing a fortune. Think about what your day-to-day life could look like a few months from now if you steadily introduce these foods. You could walk more comfortably, enjoy your hobbies with less fatigue, and possibly bounce back more quickly from everyday exertions. The key is to take that first step, no matter how small. If you're feeling motivated, why not commit to trying one new recipe or idea this week? For those who like to keep things super simple, just start by swapping a snack of cookies or chips for a small bowl of cottage cheese with fresh fruit. If you prefer to experiment in the kitchen, whip up a batch of lentil soup or try a tuna and veggie stir-fry. And if you feel really enthusiastic, share your progress with a friend or family member. Maybe they'll want to join you in making healthy changes. There's something powerful about having a support system, even if it's just a phone call with a loved one where you chat about your latest recipe success or flop it happens. The most important thing is to realize that it's never too late to adapt your routine. Avoid thinking that your best days are behind you. Many older adults in their late 70s and 80s report feeling more energetic and engaged once they focus on adequate, high-quality protein. That could be you too. The world still has so many experiences to offer, and having the strength and stamina to participate fully is a gift you can give yourself. Remember, you have the wisdom of many years. You know how to navigate challenges, and you understand that real progress often comes from consistent, modest steps rather than dramatic overhauls. So embrace these simple protein upgrades and watch how they can support your mobility, balance, and overall well-being. Whether you choose to add eggs, beans, canned fish, dairy, or all of the above, celebrate each small victory along the way. You're in the driver's seat, and these changes are here to empower you, not limit you. Here's your chance to act. Pick one idea that excites you and give it a try this week. For those who want to dive deeper, you might keep a small journal of what you eat and how you feel afterward, then share that with your healthcare provider at your next appointment. If you're on social media, you could also join a senior-focused cooking group to swap tips and meal ideas. And if you just want to keep it low-key, that's fine too. Do what feels natural for you. No matter what you choose, remember that every small action matters. Age may bring its own set of challenges, but with mindful eating and a proactive approach, you can continue to build a life full of health, independence, and joy. It's never too late to start, and you are absolutely worth the effort. I believe in the strength you already have within you. By making these budget-friendly protein tweaks, you're nurturing that strength and setting yourself up for the rewarding, vibrant years you deserve. So go ahead, take that step. Your body and future self will thank you.